how do I start to build my network in today's climate, right? In today's tech. And I guess what the advantages and the opportunities they have to build a network. I mean, because it's free. Doesn't cost money to do it. So how do you start, man?
So I'm going to give two sets of advice. I'm going to say pre-COVID and this new age of post-COVID. Well, not even post-COVID, but like during the pandemic.
Yeah, right? It's never going to be that.
It's never going to be post-COVID. I feel like I'm forever going to wear a mask.
It's the Groundhog Day.
Literally. So pre-COVID, the things that made the most sense, right? Being out at networking events, getting to know people, and the biggest thing about networking at networking events is knowing when to walk the fuck away from somebody, right? And don't waste your time.
Don't let them monopolize your time.
Yeah, exactly. So understanding that, right? Don't be afraid to go out, right? Like, it's so funny. I had a friend who called me and he goes, Mike, like, I will show you ways to make, I'll show you to understand the crypto market if you can help me get outside and like get to meet new people. Meet some people. I said, dude, just if I call you, say, get up, let's go, get up and go.
It's a value exchange of skill sets.
It's a value exchange of skill sets. Like, I wanted to learn something and he wanted to learn something. So I picked up from his house every day for like 2 months. Well, not every weekend, for like 2 months. I said, bro, all right, until you can drive yourself, you're comfortable, we're going. I was like, bro, we're going. I said, I would have done it for free, but since you're offering, right? But understand that things like that do come up, but find a way to get out. That's why I said that. It's like, find a way. If it takes you to ask a friend who is always out, just ask. If someone is always out, like, just like me, it's like, if you ask me, hey bro, what are you doing? Can I come out with you? Absolutely. Just pull up. We're here. And I'll make sure you have a good time. Pre-COVID events, networking events, super important. It doesn't have to be an event in your industry. It can be an event in any industry.
Smart advice.
Like, cause you don't want to limit yourself. Try and get in places where you probably shouldn't be in. Like,
I love that. Like what?
Like, so for example, I had a mentor who, like, I call her my corporate mom. I was at events once a year where it was like 500 of the biggest CEOs of Silicon Valley. They used to all come to this dinner and they used to basically fundraise and talk about things going on in the tech field. There was no fucking way
you worked in this room. You worked your way in the room.
I found my way in the room, right? And she goes, Mike, like, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get in. And I said, fuck it. Like, I had finals the next day. I said, fuck my finals. I'm going to put myself in this situation.
I love it.
And like, I should not have been there. But I learned a lot, right? From people. And invaluable. And so I look at that and say, dude, like, get in rooms where you probably shouldn't be in. Like, dude, if you sneak into somewhere, like, this is probably the worst advice I'm going to give ever, but if you sneak into somewhere you shouldn't be in, you don't get caught and you learn a lot, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like, crash a wedding. I'm just kidding.
Ever done that?
I've always wanted to.
I haven't done it.
That's on my to-do list.
I hate weddings.
Dude, I just want to crash away. But the thing about me, it's like, I have to crash the right wedding, right? Like, I can't crash like a fucking all white wedding. Girls will like stand out. Like, they'll be like, hey, this guy, who are you? Who the fuck is this guy here?
I love that.
I sound like a sore thumb.
You got to do your recon.
Dude, I have to do my recon for walking up in there. So, but yeah, I mean, like, I just have to, like, I always say, get into these rooms. If there's an opportunity to come up, say yes. Like,
yeah, I think the room is kind of metaphorical, right? It's just putting yourself in situations that you wouldn't typically put yourself in, or people don't.
100%.
You got to think outside the box.
Think outside the box. 100%.
The room is way bigger than just an event, right? Mm-hmm. It's life, right? Put yourself in situations. Take the job that you didn't expect, or maybe you don't know anything about, right? Learn the new skill, right? Yep. Be around people that are learning a new skill and something that you have zero knowledge of, right? And just experiment. What's the worst that's going to happen? You hate it and you move on.
And the worst thing someone can tell you is no.
Right. And you wind up meeting a bunch of new people. You had an experience.
100%.
You can look back on it.
Yeah. And like that's the other thing. Like, don't be afraid of no. That's like the worst thing someone can say to you. And that goes for anything. It goes for networking. That goes for dating. That goes for whatever. Like, the worst thing someone's going to tell you is like, no, or sorry, I'm not interested.
Yeah. It's interesting. That's kind of like the thing that people fear. I think we were talking about people in the failure, like that word no, or being rejected. is the same thing they're struggling with internally when they're not making the right decisions for their business at the right time. They just don't know how to deal with that.
Like once you learn to deal with rejection and understand that it's just one door closed, another door opens, you become a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just ready for anything. Like I have a lot of people tell me no. I say, okay, cool. I'll just find someone who's going to tell me yes, you know? Another big thing for networking for like younger guys. So, and this works on both sides. So, there's a strategy that I came up with, but I realized is the fact that, especially if you're younger, college, or even a couple of years out of college, LinkedIn is one of the most powerful tools out there.
I think it's so underutilized. I've been on it and off it, on it and off it. And every time I put a little bit of energy into it, I get a return on investment. And when I say that, it's the network grows, which is what it's there to do. But I also get reconnected with people that I hadn't been connected with in a long, long time, which has brought so much value to me. And it's brought me business, like literally dollars and cents business. Sorry, I'm going to jump in there. I just couldn't agree with you more.
100%. And so like when the younger guys, like, don't be afraid to ask or reach out to somebody who's in the space you want to get into. Like if you're in college and you see someone like went to San Jose State or like went to Stanford or went to wherever, and you went there, you can just reach out and say, hey, I saw this is interesting. Like I do an informational interview. I just want to learn more. No one is going to tell you no. If they tell you no, that person is an asshole. Right, yeah. Like actually,
I've never said no to one of those.
You know what I'm saying? Like someone goes, hey, you know what? Like I just want to sit down and talk to you for like 15 minutes. I'll buy you coffee.
People come by here all the time to do that.
You know, that's what I'm saying. And then what do you say? Yeah, sure. Of
course.
And if you can't do it, say, you know, why don't you come back later?
I've never had anybody ask me to do that and then me sit down and give them time. And then at the end of that, them not go, thank you so much for doing that, which is all you really want to hear at the end. But then later on down the road, it comes back.
Yeah.
It almost always comes back in the positive. So
every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to LinkedIn, I think it's like one of the few people are spending so much time on fucking TikTok and Instagram or whatever. And that is a really real time. So like when you look at the time you've invested in it, what you really get back from that is nothing, particularly now if you're just getting started or if you're trying to build some type of professional following on Instagram. It's almost dead. It's almost dead to a certain extent in terms of what you have to put into it to get something out. I mean, that could be, people could argue that with me.
Yeah.
But I from an organic sort of growth perspective, LinkedIn still trumps
100%. From a growth perspective, it is like organic growth. It is the #1 platform that I've seen.
That's where I was going with that.
100%. No, you were right on the nose.
Yeah. And it's keep it that way. Keep it professional is the other thing. It was what I see on like, don't take your Instagram shit and just recycle that on LinkedIn. Get somebody, I've heard you say several times, mentors, which is or a coach. Get a coach. Yeah. Get somebody. I mean, there's people out there. You can get that shit for free too, by the way. Yeah. Like it doesn't cost you anything to write a solid, bio on Insta or on LinkedIn, and the way things change, that thing changes too. So you need to be on top of it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of resources for you to get mentors. Like there's a platform called Mentor Makers that like I've been a mentor on, and it's free. You can be of any age. I've talked to people that are older than me and talk to people that are younger than me, and they're asking me for advice in my field. And I just tell them what it is. I say, hey, every call I say, I'll be honest with you. I have a sailor's mouth sometimes, and if that's not okay, please let me know, and I will try to tone it down. Yeah. And I say, but I'm going to be real with you. If what you're telling me is not a good idea, I will 100% let you know that I don't think it's a good idea and why I don't think it's a good idea. And everyone respects that. They say, okay, cool. You're telling me from the rip. Okay, cool. Let's just go in, see what we can do, and do it that way.
Yeah, so it's reaching out and trying to grow
100%.
Grow that way. Yeah, LinkedIn is the tool to do that. Instagram is great. Sorry to interrupt. But Instagram is great Instagram is great socially, right? Like people want to see what it is that like you're about. Oh, 100%.
100%. And then you get validated based on the like things that like you have or have not, right? Great example.
Yeah, the comparisons.
100%. So great example. So I've been wanting my car that I bought since 2013. And I've talked about it all the time, every day. Like
it's fantastic car, man.
This is the shit that I want. Like I've wanted it for so long. And then it came out this year and I decided to say, I'm just going to buy it. And then I did it. And everyone was like, holy shit, I can't believe this guy actually did it. He talked about it for 5 years, 6 years, and he finally did it. Like everyone was going crazy. And it validated what I was doing to people, right? I could have bought the car 2 years ago, right? But I was working and putting my money towards other things and trying to understand and learn and take risks. And like, if I lose it, great. If I don't lose it, great. I made a little bit more money. But like, you know, like people don't see that. People just see the end goal, right? People look at the watches I wear. They go, okay, cool. Like this guy's made it in life, like whatever. To me, I don't feel like I've made it in life. Like, am I doing well? Yes. But I didn't feel like I hit that point where I'm like, damn, I finally made it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good piece of advice there is, you know, in terms of setting the goals and not setting them too low. You know,
100%.
And or with this expectation that when I arrive at this particular point, I know I will have arrived. I think it's dangerous because I think what it ends up doing is limiting people. You have to have goals,
100%.
But this is the goal for now, knowing that when I get there, I need to reevaluate, or it's likely I should be reevaluating that before I get there because I'm going to learn so many things and the failures and the successes and all that other stuff to where I'm setting that new goal. But there isn't an end game here.
Right.
As soon as you start thinking like that, then you start thinking things like backup plans and, you know, all that other stuff. And it's going to limit you.
Like complacency kills. Like the only time I have anxiety is when I feel like I'm not moving forward and I'm being complacent. Like just the other day, I was talking to my business partner. I said, dude, my anxiety is through the roof. He's like, why? It's like, dude, I feel like we're not moving.
I wonder how many people feel that and don't realize why they're feeling that, you know, at this point. And, or, you know, maybe at the point that they're at your age in life, I don't know. I mean, I know right away. I can't sit still. My brain doesn't shut off. It never does. Even when,
it never does.
I mean, there's good, there's bads, there's in between, there's all that other stuff. My brain's going all the time. I almost always feel that anxiousness, you know, to be doing something. I can't sit still.
I can't sit still either, man.
I'm constantly doing, but